She said she saw my PA in the office dressed so smartly in short skirts, and she decided she wanted me to experience the same at home. Her clothes became very revealing, long slits and low necklines with cleavages bulging out. Hello, it's another Friday and you're welcome to Life Stories with Bussy. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week Friday. I was in the middle of so many things, so I couldn't do a video. And today, if you notice, I'm not in my usual spot. I'm not in my studio. In transit. And just because I've seen a lot of people come into my DM and they're like, Bussy, when is my story going to come out? When are you going to tell my story? I tried to just do something to just make sure that I just read out people's stories, because I have a lot of stories in my DM, and I just want to say thank you for sending me these stories, believing in me and believing in this program. And thank you to all the people who comment, to all our returning subscribers. Thank you very much. If this is your first time on Life Stories with Bussy, you're welcome. This is where we share our stories. This is where people vent. This is where people tell their stories, people vent, and they wait on other people to give them counsel, because you can say, like, the Bible says that in the multitude of counsel there is safety. And a lot of people who have told their stories in the past, a lot of them have found solutions to those issues that they brought to fore at that time. So hey, hit us up, talk to us. Don't forget to keep leaving your comments. Those comments are very, very important, because the people who tell their stories are reading the comments. They are always in the comments section, and they're always reading the comments. So today I have another story from a guy this time around. Some people that say that I'm pro women I mean, this is a guy. I love women, but I really love people generally, not just women. But it so happens that a lot of women are the ones who tell their stories, because women, women are quick to share their stories. Men bottle these things up until they see one of their parties, that they can share it with. But women are quick to want to look for solution. A woman is quick to want to talk to somebody so that she can get solution to the problem. But today I have a man, and he says, my name is Mohammed. Mohammed, thank you very much for writing in. Mohammed says, my name is Mohammed, and I'm telling you my real name. Wow, because I've seen that my wife loves watching your YouTube channel. Wow, thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Mohammed's wife. We will be meeting. I tried to put this out for both of us. Maybe when we hear what other people have to say, it will help us create the necessary balance. You see, the reason why comments are important. Comments are important because someone like Mohammed wants to put a story out there, because he wants to, get, counsel from people. He wants to know what people think about this. So it's very important that you leave comments. I'll continue with the story. It says that all my attempts to make her see reason seems to be falling on deaf ears. The truth is if I find out that I'm truly being unreasonable, like she said, I will make adjustments. Her name is Moreni Keji. Moreni Keji, what have you done? Moreni Keji, I think I know a couple of people, but I don't know who this Moreni Keji is. But you know who you are. If your husband's name is Muhammad and you're Moreni Keji, this is about you. I'm from Katsina, she's from Ondo. Getting married was war because we had resistance from both families. To make matters worse, I'm a Muslim and she's a Christian. Our parents fought tooth and nail to make sure our wedding didn't hold, but we're determined to make things work. In the midst of all the resistance, we had ourselves. My mother-in-law kept saying, because I was Muslim and from the north, that I would marry more than one wife. And when Keji made me promise that I would never marry another woman or cheat on her. Bussy, I'm proud to say that I've never cheated on her. Never. That never was in capital. Never even thought of it. And we have been married for 8 years. I married a naive, sweet, petite, dark lady. She was very conservative, and I thought we had the same values. I supported her in everything and every way. I provide her with everything she needs. I don't cut costs when it comes to Moreni Keji and the children. Anything she asks for, I do. I'm a dedicated husband. I am not doing badly financially. Well done, Muhammad. She said she wanted us to move to the island 6 years ago. I accepted, we bought a land and we built. She's got everything she needs, and I make sure that I make out time for her and the family. I've invested in her business, which is also doing very well. However, in recent times, I've realized that I'm living with a different person, a very strange woman. First, her dressing changed. She started wearing skimpy clothing. I called her attention to it. She said she saw my PA in the office dressed so smartly in short skirts, and she decided she wanted me to experience the same at home. Prior to that time, I'd never noticed the clothes my PA put on. It has never been my business. I was more concerned in what my PA had upstairs in her brain. Even for Morenike, her intelligence was my first attraction. I remember telling Morenike then that whatever my PA was not my business, but Morenike is my business. She made friends with some ladies in Lekki, where we moved to, and I didn't like those ladies. I told her, and she said I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. She said that I didn't know them enough to conclude that they are a bad influence on her. All of a sudden, she went from being a dark-skinned lady to being very fair. During the process, I kept noticing she was getting lighter, and she said it was a new cream that she was reacting to. She promised she was going to stop using it, but she never stopped. Her clothes became very revealing, long slits and low necklines with cleavages bulging out. The first time I saw her in those kind of clothes was in pictures at a party, which was also something new she developed, love for parties. I'm more of a homebody. Apart from playing tennis and polo with my friends, I'd rather stay at home. The day she went for that particular party, I was at home. I saw her living in a top and jeans, and I remember asking whether that was what she was wearing to the party. She said that a designer would deliver the clothes to a makeup artist studio. It was one of my friends who sent me videos and pictures of himself, his wife, and my wife at the party. Bussy, I almost puked. When she came back, I discussed this with her, and she turned it on me that I'm faced with gorgeous, well-dressed ladies in the office, and all she does is stay at home because of the children. Note that she runs a multi-million naira business, which she attends to, and she goes on business trips frequently. Morenikeji said she was just rediscovering herself, and I shouldn't be a clog in the wheel of progress. At a point, she said I was being manipulative and controlling. I didn't want any issue, so I left her. The last straw for me was when she said she needed to restock a store in Turkey. She said that she was also going to hang out with some of her friends for a mini vacation. I didn't have a problem with that. She spent over a month. We talked every day. We even did video calls on some days. Only for her to come back with a big but. To say I was shocked was an understatement. I was livid with anger. First was the anger that she went through a surgery and I didn't know. How can you leave your husband and children at home to go through a surgery in a foreign country? What if things went wrong? Morenikeji. Whole thing looks so strange on her. Very excessive and not proportionate to her body. I told her I've never complained about her body. Never. What could have prompted her to do such? She said that she had always been insecure about her body, and since she was in Turkey, she thought of doing it. Hey, wait, no, let me read that again. She had always been insecure about her body, and since she was in Turkey, she thought of doing it, that she didn't think it was any big deal. I know it's all lies. She planned it all along. When I told her that she's a different person from who I married and her new body structure isn't proportionate, she said I was looking for a reason to cheat on her. She said it's the same way I decide to shave all my beard at times, and sometimes I decide to keep it. I don't understand how she can compare shaving my beard to getting a body augmentation. The truth is, she's beginning to sound dumb to me. Hey. My mother came visiting some time ago and she couldn't even recognize my wife. She had passed her by before she realized that she was the one. My mother merely shook her head and she didn't say anything. You don't want to know how embarrassed I was. These days she comes back late. I would have ensured that the children do their homework, eat and go to bed. She would give the excuse of traffic or attending to lots of customers. I've stopped talking before someone will start to shout our mental health is at stake. For all I care, she could be cheating because of all these friends she has acquired. Most of them aren't married, and I can see that they have a strong influence on her. If she can keep the body augmentation to herself, how many more things do I know that she has kept to herself? I know what to do, Bussy. I am not a weak man. I know she would watch this, and I really want her to watch this and listen to what people will say. I don't have a problem with enhancing your appearance, makeup, human hair, or anything. But a woman in my house isn't the same woman I married. Aye. This one is this is like a husband crying for help. And I think that he's doing this just because he loves his wife. The first thing I would say, Maureen KJ, if you are listening, is that what you did was wrong. What you did was a no-no. How would you go out of the country and do a procedure and your husband knows nothing about it? I think that was a no-no. You shouldn't have done that. I think you should have discussed it with him. I know that the reason why you didn't discuss it with him was because you felt like it would stop you. But, you know, I think that you people should actually reach a compromise. I don't have a problem with you wanting to do body augmentation or body enhancement or whatever. But I think that moderation is the key. Most of us have things on our bodies that we're insecure about. And, you know, I hear people say things like, oh, I fixed it. I went to fix it, you know, and, you know, so they get their body done, you know, here and there. And it's okay. I mean, if you are adults, you can decide to do that. But my own challenge is when your husband is not comfortable with what you're doing. You're a Yoruba lady, and you know this saying that says that literally means, what that means literally is the soup that the husband does not eat, the wife doesn't cook it. Why would you cook the soup that your husband doesn't eat? You know, the man obviously has a problem with this. I know that you would say, oh, I'm trying to enhance my look, I'm trying to get better, you know. I get it, I get that, but there should be moderation in what you're doing. Moderation is the key. Before you lose a good man, I think that you need to discuss these things. And, you know, talking about this whole thing, there are lots of things that we are insecure about that people actually love about us. And I am a witness to that. When I was growing up, I kind of felt inadequate because I felt like I had a long waist, and so my bum was like hanging on top of my leg. And I used to get some people then who used to call, I used to get a couple of people who used to refer to me as Idisale, meaning that my bum was lower. It was lower than every other person's bum. You know, I was conscious about it, and, you know, I felt inadequate. I felt like I was different from other people, like it wasn't normal. But the truth was that before I got married, a lot of people were attracted to that particular feature and other things. So what am I trying to say? Some of the things that we're insecure about are the things that people actually love about us. And, you know, there's no definition of beauty. Beauty does not necessarily mean that you have to be fair. Beauty does not necessarily mean that you have to be dark. You know, I think that beauty is something that comes from within. Beauty is something that comes from within. If you are confident, you do your thing, you radiate beauty. So beauty is not so much the physical, you know, because I've seen some wonderful ladies who are very beautiful, and, you know, who are not married at their late 40s or late 50s, and they're very beautiful women. And I think sometimes I think, wait, are men blind? Can they not see these beautiful women? Because me, I feel like, oh, these people are beautiful. Is it that men cannot see that these people are beautiful? These people should have been the first set of people who would have been snatched, you know, who would get married. But it's not always like that. You find out that someone who doesn't even consider herself beautiful in quote will get a very fine man. You know, that kind of a thing. So I think we really need to redefine what beauty is. You know, that's a topic on its own. But we propose, Moreni KG, please, you need to think moderation. Moderation is the key here. Your husband isn't having all this change. He married a dark lady. You are not fair. He doesn't like it. You know, all of a sudden he feels that you have something that is extra, and he feels that it's not proportionate, you know. And it's reading things like, oh, my mental health is at stake. I'm reading things like, oh, I'm manipulative. And I'm reading things like you're saying that it's manipulative and controlling. And I think that you just need to get to the middle. You need to agree on some things. There's some things you might not be able to do, even though, you know, maybe your friends are wanting you to do. There are some things you might not be able to do. But I think that you need to think moderation in the things that you're doing. That's my own take. Guys, what do you think about this issue? Do you think that Mohammed is being unreasonable in this matter? What do you guys think? Please drop your comment below this video. We'll be at the comment section reading. Till next time when I come your way again, my name remains Bussy David. Bye.